We are not live. We are not live. Hello, lovely YouTuber. Hello, lovely Gary.
Hi, Rachel.
I might just sing the whole thing. It's like Rapunzel's mother, Entangled. Rapunzel, let down your hair. Anyway, I don't know where that was going, and I don't know why. But anyway, hello. This is the kind of randomness you get on this channel. Already 17 people have clicked off. But the ones who are staying, they get us, Gary. And that's why they come back week on week. And it's lovely to have your company. If you haven't joined us before, we do get pretty serious because we do some lovely art. And we're going to be making something really quite wonderful today. Positive affirmations. That's what we're going to be doing today. Because this channel is all about just grabbing some paper, a few basic supplies, which I'll show you in a second, and then just having some fun, but also developing your creativity, developing your skills. We always have a little mindful chat as well at the beginning where we talk about the meaning of life. I'll throw a quote at Gary. He comes back with a response, we discuss, and then we move into our artworks. The time codes are always below, so if you want to click straight into the art, you can right now. Bing. But if you want to stay with us and have a chat about the meaning of life, then we will do that for the next few minutes. But we do hope that you will like and subscribe and hit all those buttons, the bell, because that tells you when we've downloaded onto YouTube, and then you can watch our weekly content because we do this every week, don't we, Gary? We're committed. We're committed.
Yeah, we're not flaky. We are going for it. We do it every week, like clockwork. Yeah. We're here for you.
Yeah. We're here for you because we want you to just play and take 20 minutes out of your day. And we've just done a lovely podcast with this lady called Art Supply Posse, and she said she clicked onto our videos and she just got some rubber bands and threw them on a piece of paper like we did, and it brought her great joy. That's what she said. She had a wonderful time for 20 minutes. How fabulous. So we hope you have a fantastic time today. So as I say, we're now going to talk about the mindfulness. So lovely, Gary. Something sort of struck me the other day. You know, I think if you go through your life and you sort of really do the work in terms of learning lessons about yourself, if you want to improve yourself, improve your life, improve your relationships, you have to keep doing the work. And whether that is through, you know, reading self-help books or just looking at little things on Instagram posts, or you watch things like us and you go, oh, that made sense what they said. I'll think about that next time I'm having an argument or something like that. I think it is about looking at ourselves. And I think sometimes when you have children, it's actually a brilliant way to go because you give them pieces of advice that you realize, if only I could take that on myself. And then you think, why don't I take it on myself? And I was saying something to my daughter the other day. I said to her about not worrying when you feel that in people's lives, you are their number two. Let me explain. When I went to drama school, 3,000 girls auditioned. They choose 4 girls and 8 boys. And you have to go, and it was Bristol Old Vic Theatre School, so you have to go in and do a song and a dance and a Shakespeare and a modern. It's a very tough procedure to get in. And I got shortlisted. So I didn't get in straight away. I got shortlisted. And then I got the call and I got in. And when I got in and I spoke to Philippa, the lady, the secretary, I said, where was I on the shortlist? And she said, you were number 5. So we had number 1, 2, 3, 4 who got in, and you were number 5. Now, do you know something, Gary? For the next 2 years of that prestigious Bristol Old Vic Theatre School training, instead of me thinking to myself, wow, I got in. This has been my life's dream to get into drama school. I got in. Do you know what I used to think? I was number 5. I wasn't the chosen one. I wasn't in the top 4. Instead of, now how ridiculous is that? And I
Crazy.
Said, yeah, and you and I have said earlier about the comedian who said that when he was in the theatre, full of an audience, laughing at him, lapping his jokes up, loving him, there was one guy in the corner who sat back and was like, not enjoying this. And he said, and it threw him because all he could do was focus on this one person who wasn't enjoying him instead of the 20,000 people who were. Why do we do this? Why do we focus on the trolls or the naysayers or the negatives, or just not being maybe the top choices, but you are still a choice? There were reasons why those 5 girls were picked, the 4 girls were picked before me. I was the 5th, but there were 3,000 girls who didn't get in. Yes. Why do we do this, Gary? And how do we stop ourselves from beating ourselves up?
You know, it came straight to me as you were just talking that through, and the word self-sabotage. if that's 2 words or 1 word. It is self-sabotage, isn't it? And it's like, why do we do that? Do we think we're not worthy of like your place? That's what you were thinking. I am not worthy. Yes, you're worthy. And if you got the place by default because someone dropped out and so you were number 5 and you got that 4th place because everyone moved up, that is what was intended for you. But the test is for you to just forget that you were number 5 and knew that you are worthy, and that other person that couldn't make that place for whatever, they were going on some other path. The comedian that hasn't got 100% of his audience laughing at him, there's just the one person at the back that's not laughing at him, he's got 99%. That's good.
Exactly. And you know, maybe that one person is to keep him grounded. Maybe that one person is to make him think, okay, so I wonder what that person was thinking there. And always to keep improving your material and keep searching, but not get caught up in that person and think, I'm not good enough because I'm not making that person, you know, laugh there. And, you know, it's interesting you say that about, I know we talk a lot about how we believe the universe puts us on the right path. I'd really wanted to go traveling. And if I had got a place straight away at the Old Vic, I wouldn't have gone on those travels.
Yeah. You wouldn't have done it. You wouldn't have.
So,
and I just got to say that 1% in the audience that's not laughing because you're trying really hard, it keeps you trying. Because I can give you an example of my youth, misspent youth. My art teacher said, Gary, you can take your O level in arts when you're 14, not 16. So 2 years early. He said, I think you're more than capable of taking an O level at this stage. Great. I was like really chuffed. And I tried so hard and I got my O level. Do you know what I did after that? Because he goes, well, now you're going to do A levels. No, I had achieved what I wanted to achieve. And I gave up. And he actually wrote in my report, now Gary has achieved his O level at a very young age. He has decided that no one else will get theirs. And that was what I was doing. And I think, oh my God, it's like self-destruct. It took me quite a while to go back to do my A levels. I didn't do it at all. And in fact, if I don't have that 1% in the audience not enjoying what I'm doing, I'm damn sure that I want to achieve to get him or her that 1%. So for me, it works, but I just need to not go into self-destruct.
Exactly. It's that balance, isn't it? It's good to have that 1% or to be number 5 on that list. It's good to have that because it keeps you grounded. It keeps you working. It keeps you striving. But don't, whatever you do, forget the 99% who are laughing at you, because that is fantastic for you. Don't forget the 4 people or the fact that you are the 5th on the list and the poor 2,995 girls who didn't get in. Don't forget that in terms of you did. So I think it's that. I think it's self-worth. I think it's been triggered and working through those triggers, because obviously back to childhood somewhere about not being chosen. I think it's self-worth. It's all of that rolled in. But always look at the positives. As we always say, look at the positives. Don't focus on the negatives. But if the negative is there, it's trying to teach you something. It's teaching you to keep striving and keep driving on. Yes.
Really good. That was a good sort of like thing in life that we need to watch out for and understand why it's there.
I could sit here and ponder this for another hour, but we should get creative.
We must get creative, right?
But that's very good. Okay. Well, can I just tell you, in terms of, you know, keep striving and improving. So you know, you said grab a few materials together. Look at me. I'm going to bring look at this. I mean, hello. It's a smorgasbord. It's a smorgasbord of arts and crafts.
Well, and these are all things that you've just scavenged around the house that you'll find. They are. You're almost like getting an art studio now, Rachel. You realise it, don't you?
Right, so Gary, talk us through what we're going to do today, because the eagle-eyed viewer would have seen there that my pencils, I'll just show people, my pens and then my pencils. Can we see the colours? Yes.
Yes.
One random colour. And I've got my watercolour paints as well, as always. So yeah, just a few, you know, these are just, like I say, these are all things collected from my daughter's childhood. So they're not expensive.
I'm now getting art material envy. Last week I had ribbon envy when you drew that ribbon. Now you're getting all these art materials, and we look at those art materials and think, oh, I want that and I want that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so the audience out there, what I want you to do, which is what I asked Rachel to do, is go and collect everything that you've got in your favorite color. So Rachel's is pink, mine is blue for a boy. So anything you can get to hand in blue that's around the house, around in your art box or in the drawer, anything like that. So I've got some crayons, I've got a blue biro, I've got some blue pencils, a couple of blue felt tips, but also and blue paint. So I've got my paints here. I've got a pot of water, a big paintbrush, but get the opposite color. So what we call a complementary color. And so there's a bit of learning here now. So complementary colors, think about when you make a color. So for instance, a blue color, I can make green from, I can make purple from, but I can't make the color orange from it. So it's the color you can't make from your dominant color. So for me, it was blue. I can't make orange from blue. I can make any other color, but I can't make orange. So that is its complementary color. For Rachel, yours is pink. So it's a red tone. So it's a pink, it's a red tone, which is pink. The color that you can't make from that is, what was it? What did I tell you that you've got to get? A green. So the green color. So the color green is made up from yellow and blue. It is not made up from red. So the complementary color for Rachel is green. So we're going to use a complementary color in there. The other one would be yellow and purple. So if your favorite color is a purple tone, or it could be the other way around, it might be yellows and like springtime yellows. The complementary color would be purple. So purple and yellow are complementary. Now, if that confuses you, you can easily go online and just look at a color wheel and look at the opposite colors for the one that you're going to use as your dominant color. All right, so you've collected those bits together. So I've got all of those. I've got a piece of paper here, A4 piece of paper. This is sort of like a sort of cartridge paper, but whatever you've got to hand, that's fine. Some masking tape, or you could use sellotape. You know, you could use sellotape for this, but we're gonna make a little grid on the piece of paper, and we also, just for us to speed up the process, is a hairdryer. But you know, if you haven't got a hairdryer, just give yourself time between it drying. So you could go make yourself, like us, we always make ourselves a nice cup of tea while we're having a chat and doing a bit of artwork. So you might make yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee while you're waiting. Okay. So the next thing, apart from your favorite color, because it's all about positivity and creating art through positivity, I want you to find 6, I'm bringing in a pad, which I've written mine down on. I want you to write down 6 words that you consider positive. Okay, so just 6 words. I'll give you a clue what I've chosen for me, and you can, any of you out there, and Rachel, you can use these, or you might have other ones. But so instant. Positive words for me is giggle. I love having a giggle and a laugh. Dancing. I love dancing. Shine. Shine your light bright. I mean, that's a lovely saying, that you should really shine as much as you can. Sometimes you can't shine all the time, 24/7, but think about shining. Passion. When you've got passion for something, you know, it's really positive. It really pushes you forward. And the other word is go forward. So never look back, always look forward to things. And then finally, my 6th word was just smile. So even if you're feeling really rough or something's really gone wrong, just look at yourself in the mirror and just put a big smile on your face. Just by the muscles in your face making a smile actually sends chemicals to your brain. So even though you don't feel like you want to be smiling, it starts to make you feel better by just making your face into a smile. So they are my 6 words. I'm going to give you, just see what Rachel is going to come up with hers.
I've gone for jump. So I know you dance, but you know, if anybody has seen my personal Instagram, you'll know that I've jumped on a trampoline before. So you know, jump, but that's the same as dance. So jump around, you know, just be joyful. Laugh, because absolutely, I mean, there are actually those workshops where you can just do like a not a fake laugh, but you can make yourself laugh. But you know, just try and laugh, because that will make you feel better. Shine, because yes, absolutely, shine your star, your personality. Just shine, just let it shine. Love, because for me that is an incredibly positive thing. If you love people, if you love yourself, if you love the world, if you love what you do, there's a great line in Jerry Maguire where he says, love your wife, love your life. But I think, you know, it's just a great little line, you know. The other word that's
Lovely.
positive to me is
Ah,
Gary. All I have to
oh
do,
yeah.
all I have to do is think of Gary, because you're just so made me feel so positive and so happy. And our sessions here on YouTube have just made me feel so happy. So Gary is a positive word for me. And sing a song. Don't sing anymore because YouTube will have you for rights. But yeah, sing a song like the Carpenters say. Don't worry if it doesn't sound good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song. So true.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so those words are going to come into play in a minute because we're going to use those as prompts for making marks.
Okay.
The other thing we've got to do, so the next thing is on our piece of paper, we've got to create a grid of 6 squares. Now, how do we do that? So first of all, you'll have your piece of paper, landscape. So landscape is going lengthways. So if you were going to do a landscape, so you're going to have yours landscape. That's a very big piece of paper, Rachel.
It's huge. Should I cut it down?
Yes, so fold yours from one side to the other, and you're going to create an A4 piece of paper then.
Now tear it.
You can, hopefully it'll tear straight. Well, yeah, that's all right. Well, not too bad, not too bad. I just didn't want to start you on a big piece of paper and then you think, oh my God, I'm never going to get through all of this. Right, okay. So we've got it on landscape. So the first thing is to do, we're not going to crease this hard. So what we're going to do is just going to fold one end up to the other, and you'll just hold it in place, and you're just going to kiss what I saw with your finger, just make a little kiss with your finger each side. So you've got like a little indent just there. So that's it. Just one. That's it. Kiss it with your finger. That's it. Wonderful. Okay. So now we're going to take it the other way. So now we're going to go the other way. That's it. And you're going to create this into thirds. So to do that, you create almost like an S shape. So if I show you an S shape, can you see that S shape? Like that. And then you're just going to get it all equal at the top. And then you're going to just do little pinches at the top and the bottom. And this is just a way of just dividing up your piece of paper without putting really like hard creases for it, because you don't want too hard creases. So if I show you with a pencil, you should have a crease at the top and the bottom, there and there, there and there, and one through the middle. Okay, you can see that. Right. Let's use our masking tape. We're going to use masking tape, but you could use sellotape. And this is just going to divide the paper up into 6 little equal squares. So the first one is the length of the piece of paper through the middle. And we're just going to line up our little crease dots somewhere in the middle there. And we're just going to put a piece of masking tape down through the middle. We're going to press it down firmly with our fingers. We're just going to press that down like that. That's it. Lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to pick up it could be a crayon, it could be your pencil, it could be a felt tip. And my first word is giggle. What's your first word?
Okay, my first word is going to be jump.
Jump. Okay. So for me, I think giggle as a line is lots of like, it just goes giggle, giggle, giggle like that. Jump might be like, I can just, if I was doing jumping, maybe it's like a heartbeat going across the page, you know?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of. So I was
it?
Yeah, I was literally going to go whoop, whoop.
That's fine.
Whoop, whoop.
And it can be all over it. Exactly. Come through. That's it. And you go over. There you are. Jump. Yep. Perfect. Okay. My next word is dance. So I think I might use another color. So pick up a different implement. It could be a felt tip this time. It could be more of a wax crayon or something like that. And it might be that it's what is going to respond to the word. So I've got to think about, well, how would I respond to dance? What's your second word, Rachel?
Mine is laugh.
Laugh. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, what is it going to be? What? Ah, nice. Yes, that's fine. Well, I'm sort of thinking 1 step, 2 step, 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 1 step, 2 step. So I'm making like little dances like that. You're sort of repeating of like ha 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 ha. It could be some like little ha ha's, big ha ha's, all the way through. That's good.
Okay, fine.
All right.
I've just gone with it. I've just gone with it.
You've gone with it. Fantastic. Well, the next one for me is shine. What's your next one?
Well, my next one is shine as well. Now, just before I say what you would do, so I'm not copying, my shine would literally be, I want to do what you've kind of done there with that crayon, but
Yeah.
I've got some crayons, but I haven't picked up a pink crayon, but I know I've got pink crayons. What's this that
What
I've got
you
here?
got?
Oh, that's a fine one. So let me just look at this pen, because my shine will just literally be like sort of
Going
like
across like that.
starbursts.
And again, it could be mine. I'm going to actually have shining coming right from the center. So I'm going to have big lines like rays, like sunbeams coming out.
That's what I was thinking of, rays. Yes.
Rays.
Yes.
Wonderful. So like shining like a right, rays coming out like that. That's fine. And of course you can draw, the idea is that you draw over it. Don't think of this as individual squares all the time. You can go and do something that spans out from the middle. So it can be that, so like your first line was going right across it, it can expand out through the whole of it. So it could be that you do one movement or one mark that actually goes right across the page.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to do next one. I think I'm going to do a little bit of passion. I feel passion is my next word. And do you know what? Because I'm going to use my contrast color for passion. What contrast? You had a green, didn't you? And what's your other word? Is it love?
Yeah, my next word is love.
Okay. So is it love right across the page? Is it repeated? I'm going to use my passion is going to be like a little heart. And I'm going to do loads of little orange hearts, because that's what I think is like I suppose it's obvious really, but I can do different ones. I can do big hearts. And I could do little diddy hearts in the orange. And you see how when we're using a contrast color next to the blue, how it really pops out, how that green is like really ping, is coming right out at you.
Yeah.
Good. Lovely. What have you drawn? Oh, yours is a massive heart, massive heart.
I've done a massive heart, but I'm doing some little hearts elsewhere as well. Yeah. Yeah, because I just felt like that, because for me, as I said, love is it's just all encompassing. Love is, it's the key. It's the key to life.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Wonderful. I would suggest now that perhaps you want to use some wet media. So you might want to go in and actually go in with some of your pink wet media. And it doesn't necessarily have to be thinking about a word. You can stop thinking about the words, because we've still got another couple of words left. So you could just block out some, it doesn't have to be painted all over, but you could put some color in with some of your wet media. So depending on how you want to do it, I quite like to just wet my paper a little bit. And if you've used things like, you might have used some watercolor pencils, and so when you wet it, you'll find that some of your pencils might start to sort of bleed as well. Like the color starts to come out from them, which can be quite a nice effect as well. And I'm just going to introduce some bright colors into it. So I'm going to just not necessarily go over all of it, but I'm just going to introduce some of the blue wet media to bring that in as well. I like the idea of the wax resisting the paint as well. That's quite nice. So I've used wax crayons. It's quite nice to see it resisting the color. Yeah. That's nice, Rachel. Lovely. So have you got different tones of red in your paints, or is it about how much paint?
I started with a very deep, very strong red, and then I just worked across the page so it got lighter.
Right.
See, my colours always seem to come out the same, even though on my tray they're completely different.
Yes. Is it how much colour you're picking up? So you're wetting your brush and you're really picking up some colour. How much you pick up on the paintbrush itself?
I see. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's nice. I've got. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's a bit more vibrant. Liking that.
That is more vibrant. That's nice.
It's funny, I've got no idea what this is going to turn out like.
I know. That's what the fun is. And then we will have an opportunity to work into them a little bit more. That's nice. So you probably could actually, you could add a little bit more towards in the centers, because you've gone around the outside. So you might just want to put a little block in the center as well. That's nice, like that. If you
Yeah.
see a shape and if you feel you want to fill in a shape at this point, you know, like maybe something as a shape has appeared in one of those boxes, something, you can always fill in one of those as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like we did on marbles when we filled in the lines on
Yes,
marbles.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just want to say to anybody who's playing along with us here today, the beauty of these exercises is, you know, this is not about teaching you to be an artist. This is about you just being creative. And what I will say to you, lovely people, is that when you're sitting here and you're doing this with us on this video, if at any point you sit there and go, this is looking absolutely rubbish, I'm going to throw it in the bin, please don't. Please keep working at it,
Yes.
and wait until the end anyway, when you take off the masking tape, etc. But even if you look at the end and go, what was that all about? Do you know what it's about? 20 minutes of play. 20 minutes of play. It doesn't matter what you
Exactly.
create in the end. And I think that's the thing that I've learned, Gary, on these sessions. It's really not to stress about what the end result is, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't
It really
matter.
doesn't matter. And you know, this exercise, I sort of looked online, what different people were doing, creative people, mindful people were doing, doodling people were doing, and this is sort of an amalgam of lots of different sort of concepts out there. But one thing that I did think was really a good point that people were making is that sometimes creativity can get a block. I can get a block and think, oh, I really want to be creative, but I need to get started. This is a great warm-up exercise, because you get all your materials out, you have to start having a play, and then when you've done this exercise, you can then go on and do something else. If you're having a bad day, if you're feeling like, oh God, everything is rough and it's all against me and it just seems so down, do something like this just for half an hour. You might not even need to take that length of time, but you can do this and just to lift you, just to get you creative, just to get you start thinking differently.
Yeah.
Lovely. Right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna give mine a little dry, because what I've done is I've used wet media, and then I'm gonna go in with a felt tip and a biro next. So I know if I'm gonna do that, my biros and pens won't like being on wet. So I'm gonna dry it just slightly.
I haven't got my hair dry, but I think mine's going to be okay.
You think it's all right?
Yeah, it's not that wet.
Okay. Just gonna dry that. Okay. So I've dried mine.
Okay.
I've got two more words. You should have two more words. And I think your next word, if I remember, is it Gary's next?
It is Gary. So now I have to represent Gary, and I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Oh, are you? Okay. So I'm doing. Can't wait to see. So my next word is go forward. And to go forward, I just think for me, it's a line. It could be an arrow. So maybe it's an arrow. Go forward. I'm just thinking what represents go forward. So I think I'm going to just create with my biro, just some arrows going across the page, like big arrows, or maybe little arrows. I don't know. It could be a step too far. I don't know. I'm going to color in my arrows. So I'm just doing go forward arrows, pointing left to right. So it might be from bottom to top. Who knows what go forward would be? Is it going up? Is it going to the right? Or maybe it's go to the left. But for me today, it is going from left to right. That's going forward. So I'm just creating with my biro over the top. As I said, it is literally, the materials I'm using is anything you could just pick up, get your hands on. Don't overthink the materials. Don't overthink where things are positioned. It's about just putting them down. So sorry, I've gone off on a tangent. What are you drawing there? Is that little some sketches of me?
Gary,
Oh, I love it.
I'm sorry, Gary. They're not very representative, but it's just glasses, spiky hair, and very big smiles. There you go. That's.
I look like I got smudged lips, smudged lipstick.
That's your tea. It's left a stain for the tea time tutorial.
Me tea. Who was that? It's now come to mind. Who was back in maybe 80s, could be even early 90s, but I think 80s. He was a pop star or from that era, and he had like sort of black spiky hair, and he had always wear red lipstick, and it was always like smudged.
Oh yes, The Cure. What's his name? Yeah.
I'm channeling him. What was the guy's name? He was fantastic. I think he's still performing. Performing.
He is. I'm going to find his name now because it's going to drive me nuts.
You need to let me know.
As
That's
soon as
what
I
you
see it,
have.
I'll go, yep, that's it. Oh, people are shouting at the screen right now.
They're
The
telling me.
Cure, singer. Prepare yourself. Are you ready?
Right, I'm ready.
Robert Smith.
Yes.
That's him.
And it was it called The Smiths or was it The Cure?
Oh my
It
goodness me.
wasn't The
No,
Smiths.
it was the Cure.
No,
It was the,
it
no, it
was
was the
The Cure.
Cure. Yeah, it was the Cure.
Yeah.
My goodness me. I can't explain. I've just looked at the image of him and it is my drawing. It is my drawing.
You've channeled it. That's what you've done.
Yeah.
Well, we've now got to the last word. So my last word is smile, and I've just been smiling right through this recording because it's so funny. So I'm going to do smile. So what am I going to use? That's the thing. I've got so much choice. I think I'll go for a felt tip. So I haven't really used the felt tip much, and I've got this sort of felt tip. It's got two different sort of. I've got a thick end and a thin end. So for me, my smile is going to be literally like just a little smile, just a curve. So I'm just going to put little curves, smiles with the big part of it, and maybe use the smaller part as well and have some other. And I could do double smiles, big smiles, little smiles. What's your last word, Rachel?
My last word is sing, but what I've gone with are musical notes.
Yes, exactly. So I think you can be completely abstract. You know, you could do this listening to music. You could put your favorite tracks on, and then when you listen to your track, you could respond with marks to that track or the rhythm of the music. You could do that exactly the same thing. So that could be really quite good fun too. I got this.
Lovely.
Okay. Are we ready for the big reveal?
Yes, let's
Now,
do it.
just a little tip for anyone. I know you haven't got a hairdryer with you, but if you ever use masking tape, if you just heat up your masking tape, it does come off easier, but just be gentle with it. So don't go ripping it because you might rip the paper, but just very gentle with it and it should just come off really quite nice and easy. You done it? That looks lovely. Lovely.
Yay!
And
Wow,
what?
that is amazing. When you have just, framed what looked like to be a mess around that masking tape.
Exactly. It just because you give again, this is one of the theories of art that if you give it a framework, a border around it, it adds importance to it, and it really helps when you're doing sort of abstract work as well. But it just makes it look a little bit more purposeful rather than something. Well, this is just all higgledy piggledy. It means nothing to me. As soon as you then reveal it and you have the little sort of border lines around it, it just really makes it. It just sort of finishes it off and makes it that it's purposeful, that it's not just a higgledy mess. It actually means something. What I'm doing is I'm actually just going back with my words, and under each of the box, I'm actually putting the word underneath. So one word represents smile, one is go forward, one is passion. So you could do that if you wanted to. You could look at the boxes and think, well, which one to me says giggle most? Or one of those words like, which one out of all of those is Gary?
Or the Cure singer.
Or
Yeah.
the Cure singer.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool. So easy to do and lots of fun. And you could go, like you said, you could go back in, you could work back into it again. I would keep within the borders. So make sure that you keep your borders all nice and clean. But if you think, oh, I could just go in with a little bit more, that's fine. I would say, actually, probably don't go in with any wet media. Use like your pens or your pencil, felt tips. The wet media might tend to bleed out from there. So while the masking tape's on, that's when you put all your wet media on and dry it. If you feel at that point you want to lift off the masking tape, you can. But again, can you see with your accent color, your complementary color really pops against your pinky red. So the green really stands out against it. And it's a really good way of actually understanding how complementary colors work and how they will, come out at you from the picture.
I have to say with yours rather than mine, and I don't know why this is, but when I look at yours, I can see that actually, if you were to cut that now into 6 pieces and just put that onto a white piece of card, that would actually make a really lovely abstract greetings card. I'm not sure about mine. If I cut mine up and put it onto a card, I don't think anybody would thank me. But there is.
Now, are we going into self-destruct?
We're going into number 2. I'm number 2. I'm not good. Yeah, but I do love yours, Gary. I love the kind of wash of colours of yours. I don't know what it is about yours versus mine, but maybe it's your many, many, many years of training that I'm seeing. You know, that I do like what you've done.
Thank you. Thank you. But I do have envy of yours always, the things that you do. And today I've had envy of your art stash.
Well, I tell you what as well. Tell you what, not only my art stash, but look at my lovely little jars here. I mean, look, they're just so, you know, I'm like a professional painter. I mean, they're so
very nice jars.
They're actually yogurt pots, by the way, that came in the supermarket, and then we just kept the pot.
But I think, Rachel, you have posh yogurt.
Yeah, I do. Obviously, I do. Oh, lovely jubbly. I have enjoyed myself again, lovely Gary. Once again, as we said, you know, when I was looking at that with the masking tape on, I just thought, what is this? But as I've said, don't ever just chuck it in the bin. Just keep going. And at the end, if you take the masking tape off and you still don't like it, doesn't matter. You've enjoyed yourself for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's
what
we're talking about. And it is talking about just being free and playing with some colour. I love the complementary colour. As you say, that's a really top tip, because that does just make it pop, actually. And I like the words. And once again, that will, you know where it's going. I'm just going to put it in the camera close up so people can actually see. There's Gary. There is definitely a look of the cure.
Let me try and reenact that. I'm like doing this sort of like strange hand thing with a pen in your hand.
There you are. Look, you see, I am talented. You would not know the difference. Oh, you gotta love me. Right, okay. I'm always a try. Right. There we are.
It's there up on the back wall. Yay. You know, you're going to have to get a bigger pinboard. We're going to have to invest in Crafty Monkey HQ needs a big pinboard.
It does. I'm going to have to move that across and have another one next to it.
Yeah. Do you know, I reckon a few months down the line, we're going to be advertising a private view for the gallery.
Well,
brilliant.
Talking about, you know, buying a new pinboard, if anybody would like to buy us a coffee at the end of this, please hit the donation button, because we are doing it for absolutely nothing apart from our own mental health and hopefully yours. But, you know, if anybody would like to donate £1 or £2 to the channel, please do. People don't make money on YouTube anymore unless you've got millions of followers and thousands of views. But it's not about the money. It's about love, laughter, creativity, art, and enjoying yourself.
And as we were saying, only just when we started, just before, it's lovely to hear from people that are viewing us and what they're getting from us. You know, that makes it, you know, worthwhile. It's lovely to hear what you're doing. So please do comment or come onto our social media and just let us know what you've done, because, you know, we've just spent, you know, 40 minutes doing something, and it's really I've enjoyed myself just showing you or coming up with an idea, and Rachel has good fun too. So yeah, it's good fun. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to do. And I will put a link below as well to a fantastic podcast that you could listen to. I've just been interviewed. We're hopefully going to get this lady onto our channel where the 3 of us are going to be creating some art together, because she is into art journaling, but she also runs a podcast called the Art Posse Supply podcast. And she interviewed me where I talked about Crafty Monkeys and a bit about me and how I came up with the idea and what we do, but also a lot about this channel and the thinking behind it. So you might want to listen to that. So, right, lovely, Gary. We will be here next week. We will be launching another tea time tutorial. Please have a look in the playlist. There are loads more for you there, at least 35 tea time tutorials, but there are loads of other sewing videos as well, and interviews with other creative people on the channel. So just have a scoot around in all the videos and playlists, and I'm sure you'll find something to have fun with. But have fun, enjoy yourself, relax, be mindful. Remember, it doesn't matter if someone chose someone over you. It doesn't affect you. It's just the universe pushing you where you need to be. So let it go. Let it go. Right. Okay. We're going. So we are next week. Okay. Bye.